All right.
Hello and good
So
morning,
on this right here, we're still doing the double angles identities. For these problems, we're actually going to try and match this to an identity. We started this yesterday. If I take a look at this, I need to look at all my identities that I have and match it to what it's going to be. So this is basically a cosine squared minus a sine squared, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm using that information there. So if it looks like that, the formula that actually goes along with that right here. So we have the cosine squared minus sine squared, right? So I'm going to start by writing out the whole formula. Okay? So this is my cosine of 2a is equal to cosine squared a minus sine squared a. So I'm matching this to a formula. Okay, what is my a?
7.
So it's my 7x, right?
Yes.
The a is 7x. So everything else is now going to go the other way. So now it's going to look like if my a is 7x, over here I would write 2 times a, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to become cosine of 2 times 7x equals cosine squared of 7x minus sine squared 7x. This is my formula, right? I have identified my a. My a went over here. And so now I'm going to be able to simplify all of this over here on the right-hand side, which I have here, to be cosine of 14x. That's it. That's it. We're trying to simplify it.
Didn't we do that same problem?
Yes, we did.
I was going to ask that because you wrote it different from yesterday.
I know. I'm just. Yesterday had a lot of people negative and people just playing on their phones. So. Anyway, so are we okay with this?
Yes.
Is it? I know it's slightly different than yesterday, so I'm trying it differently. So let's take a look at B. Now B is the one that I did not do yesterday, but for my video I actually didn't do any of that. So now let's take a look. What formula do you think that one goes with? Look at it closely. It looks a whole lot like. Is that the sine 2a?
How do you know?
I don't know. Just go look at the formula. See which one it goes with.
That's what I'm looking at.
Sine something, cosine something.
Wait, but why?
You'll see in a second. Get in there. Okay, here it is. So sine a, cosine a, right?
Yeah.
But there's kind of a 2 missing though. So but this is the closest one I have, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to try this one. Now, whenever you're trying to fill this in, if you look at the different combinations I have, there's only certain ones I could use. So if it's sine times cosine, guess what? It's only this one. If it's cosine squared minus sine squared, it's only this one. So there is an easy way to eliminate all the other possibilities because I just go with whatever the sine cosine combination I have. Since this is sine cosine and it's a times here, where everything else is, minus, 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 then it has to be that one. So, but I have to do a little finagling to make it work. So the formula was, what is it? It was sine 2a, right? Okay.
Equals 2 sine a cosine a.
Okay. Now, it's not there, right? What's different about my formula than this? It's missing the 2. Now, can I get rid of the 2?
Yeah.
Okay, what's 2 doing to my sine and cosine? Multiplication, right? So how do I undo a multiplication?
Divide.
Very good. So I'm going to divide it first. So this is my formula.
Or even setting.
Yes, I'm moving my formula to match what I need. Okay, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So this over here isn't dividing by 2 the same as multiplying by half, right? Okay, so this is going to look kind of weird. I'm just going to rewrite it. 1/2 sine 2a is equal to 2, crap. It's not crap, it's, yeah, sorry. Keep saying crap. Sine A, cosine A. There we go. Now, does the formula fit with what I'm using now? Yeah, it fits exactly now, doesn't it? Okay, I have my sine, cosine, but now
Why did you put 1 over 2?
dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by 1/2. Right here? Yes? So I'm timesing by 1/2. It means the exact same thing. Okay? It means the exact same thing. Alright, so, okay, where are we at? Okay, now what is my A value here? 15. So I can plug it in, can't I? So it's going to be 1/2 sine of 2 times 15 equals sine 15 times cosine 15. I like parentheses around those. Okay, that matches there, doesn't it?
Oh my god.
There.
Perfect.
Okay, so it now matches. And so now I'm just going to use what's on the left-hand side. Because I matched this right here to this formula to simplify it. So now I'm going to end up with the 1/2 sine of 30. So 1/2 sine 30.
Do you multiply the 1/2?
Because
I could, but you'll see in a second.
Okay.
So are you okay with that? Because 2 times 15 gave me 30, right?
Yes.
Now, do we know the value of sine 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my unit circle, isn't it?
Yes.
So this is going to give me, let's see, 1/2
Yeah, it's 1/2.
times 1/2.
1/2.
I said 1/2. Come on, brain. Now, the only time I would actually do all numbers for this is if I have numbers like this from the unit circle. So if I get these from the unit circle, you might actually have this. But in the previous one up here, I didn't have a degree, right? I just have x's, don't I?
Oh, okay.
I have x's, so 14x. I really don't have a value for x. But for sine, this one right here, I know what the 15s are, right? And they come out to be 30. That's on my unit circle. I can convert it to the answers. I can get those there. Does that help you out a little bit? Okay. All right, so this problem right here, write this in terms of sine x. Now, this one right here is a little bit complicated because I have a double angle in here also. So if I'm doing my formula, it's going to be, let me see, sine is going to be 2x cosine x plus cosine 2x sine x.
Why is there no like in the previous one?
Okay, so now it's giving you this. It's giving you this, and it wants you to do this. Isn't this a formula that we have?
Yes.
Yeah, when I have sine of, this is my A, this is my B, this is the addition, right? I believe we did this one last section. So that's the addition, so we have this. So now I'm going to replace, because I write it in sine of x. I don't want any double angles. I believe I was talking about this one yesterday. No double angles. So I'm going to get rid of my double angle. What am I going to replace the sine 2x with? 2 sine cosine, right? So this right here turns into 2 sine x times cosine x. That's this one right here, right? That's just this times cosine x plus. Now, but isn't cosine 2x a double angle here? Right? So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to replace this with, what did we say? Cosine squared x.
Wait, why did you square
Okay, that's the
versus the
equation.
other one?
And then
Alright.
sine
That's one of the.
It's the identities for this. Identity. We, for like the double angle. Yeah, that's what we've been